to the chat and then we'll start. Alright. Here we are back with a Week 5 predictions video. We're joined by Leslie, the Browns user. How's it going, bro?
What's up, Jason? What's going on, man?
Definitely glad to have you here. If you believe someone is cheating in any of these games that you're playing and stuff like that throughout the league, make sure you're messaging one of the commissioners. That's myself, the Bears user, Dwayne, he's the Cowboys user, Adrian, he's the Ravens user, CJ, he's the Seahawks user, Dean, he's the Packers user, and Eli, he is the Bills user. Also, message any of those people if you're interested in doing a predictions video. We always want to have new voices and different opinions and things like that we can get in. Um, Great job to everyone getting their games played. We are officially, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know because I know there's some people that kind of up with not quite up with their numbers. Um, we're only going to have we're only going to have the rest of this season and next season. That's going to be it. So it's going to be 2 seasons. I know that there are a few guys in here that are real just done with Madden at this point. We highly encourage y'all to finish it out. I mean, for one thing, because nobody wants to play a CPU each week. But other than that, next Madden you're going to want to be in the league, and if you leave, there's no promise that there's going to be a spot open for you. Um, so I mean, just do what you can do. Try to at least, I mean, no, like what you said, Leslie. You know, these next 2 seasons are for you about trying to build a passing offense.
Yeah,
You know, just
exactly.
kind of figure it out. I mean, if that's what you guys need to do to be able to find a love for Madden, then do it. We're gonna have a normal predictions video this week. We're gonna do the players of the week, and then we're gonna do predictions, and that's gonna be it. So let's start off with the players of the week. On the NFC side, uh, Justin Fields, he had 21 of 36, 506, 7 passing touchdowns. He also ran for 124 yards and a rushing touchdown. So he was everywhere. I mean, literally 630 total yards and 8 touchdowns. He did have 3 fumbles and 2 picks, though. I don't know his first name, but a safety for the Cardinals had 2 tackles and 3 interceptions. A bot, so it looks like he had a good game there. What about the AFC side?
Yeah, on the AFC side, Jamar Chase, the big free agent pickup for the Titans, had a monster game. Looked like it was bombs away. He had 6 receptions for 270 yards with 3 receiving touchdowns. So big game for Jamar Chase. And then on the defensive side, Joey Bosa had 6 tackles, and 5 of those tackles were sacks. So big game for Mr. Bosa and the Chargers.
Yeah, that was a CPU game
Oh
against
wow,
J Drop. He the Pats user he forgot to let somebody know to change him to All
All
Pro.
Pro.
Yeah, so he played him on All Madden. He barely won, but he's still undefeated because of it. But tough game. Um, anyway, let's see here. Let's get into these predictions. 2 games of the week this week are going to be the Cardinals at the Giants and the Eagles at the Falcons. I promise you, I'm not picking anybody for games of the week and things like that. I just try to find what's the most interesting, or 2 best teams, or 2 best users, or something that I think would be a good game at least. And remember, all those games and all divisional games are supposed to be streamed, unless your Wi-Fi is shit or something like that, and then let somebody know. I've updated Daddy Leagues already, so if anybody's asking about that, that's already taken care of. The first game of the week, the first game is going to be the Buccaneers at the Saints. Saints just took a close loss to the Falcons by 10. He did have a defensive touchdown there. Not really sure what the Bucs did last week. I know you blew him out a few weeks ago. He beat the Steelers 34-7 last week, so looks like he's coming off a win as well. He's 3-1. Saints are 2-2. I believe the Bucs lead the division actually over the Falcons, so it'll be interesting to see who wins this game. Who are you taking in this one, Leslie?
I'm gonna go with the Saints. These are the last 2 actual opponents that I actually played. Last week I had a fair sim, so I think the Saints are a better user, but the Bucks team is loaded, and you just never know with that team, man. If you get even a decent user, they can win any game of the week. But I'm gonna stick with the Saints here. They're coming off a loss just now to the Falcons. I watched a little bit of that game. It seemed like it was close, so I think they're motivated to get another victory here. So I'll go with the Saints in a close win.
Yeah, I'm still hunting for my perfect week, and this is just one of those that, as much as I think the Saints may be a slightly better user, I think the roster is going to make the difference here.
Yeah.
G.A. Finance, he's definitely not a pushover of a user. He plays good offense, stuff like that. solid defense. So I'm going to take the Bucs here on the road to win this game. I'm going to call it relatively close. It's going to be about stopping the Saints' run game. Next, we have
Got
the
you.
Browns at the Steelers. Let's see. You are 2-2, and Delvin is 1-3 at the moment. So he's taken 3 straight losses. I know he's definitely looking to get a victory here. You've won 2 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Am I
Two in
correct
a
in
row.
that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So definitely looking to keep your streak going here. Who are you gonna take in this game?
I'm gonna go with me this game. Look for me to have a lot of turnovers though, because I'm gonna be looking at passing the ball a lot with the new receiver I received as soon as as soon as the Bengals accept the trade.
Yeah. You sold your soul to the
And
devil. We all understand.
so yeah, I'll be looking at the pass the ball a lot, kind of refine my passing game a little bit. But then if it comes to crunch time, I'll do what I do best, and that's run the ball. I think it'll be a close game just because I'm gonna be trying some things out new, but I like myself in a probably like a 10-point victory.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Browns here to get the victory. Probably be a little closer than it should be because you've been working on stuff. I really need to get over myself, man. I've been using the run and gun offense now, offensive playbook for like about 8 Maddens, and I know where everything is, so it helps me pick plays and do adjustments and things like that pretty fast. But I need to get some new stuff going on. Just try to figure out
Yeah.
my offense a little more. We're still not rebuilding in Chicago. We're still trying to make a push for the Super Bowl. Although everybody's basically wheeling in and out of the retirement home at this point.
You
Um,
guys are old.
yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Next, we got the Chargers, which we're currently looking for a user. He's a CPU at the moment, although he may not be by the end of tomorrow. Versus Chap. Chap's probably gonna take the force win here. I have no way to pick against him because I don't know who the new user would be, so I think this one's pretty easy.
Yeah, same here.
Um,
I agree with you, Ravens.
First game of the week, we're
Yeah.
going down. We got the Eagles at the Falcons. Both these teams 2-2. Both playoff teams from last year. Definitely need to get back on track, get above 500 here. One of them is going to take a tough loss and fall below 500. So it's a really important game here for both these teams. The Eagles, if you look at the score last week versus the Rams, looks
Don't
like a
pay that any
blowout.
attention.
Yeah, it's a
But
blowout.
there's a start over.
Yeah, it was a start over, and the Eagles were leading the first game. And I've always said every time I pick a game for T. Lou, I always say that he's one of the most underrated users in this league. After like the first few seasons, he really fixed his turnover problems, and he's been playing like excellent. I think
And
he's made.
the game that he was leading, he was up 14 and he just got an interception. So he was leading 14 and had the ball in his opponent's territory. I was watching that game
Yeah,
literally at
he
work.
had Jimmy by the balls there for a little bit, but then
Yeah.
there's a rumor going around that Jimmy pulled the plug, but I don't know about all that.
Uh-oh.
Um, Nonetheless, and we know how Newt plays. He seems a little off this season compared to others. A close game against the Saints. He lost. I mean, not taking anything away from the people he's lost to, but he had a sloppy game against Herc, and he lost a real close game to Saban though. Or did he beat? No, he beat
He
Saban.
beats
That's
him.
right.
He
Yeah,
beats
that's
him on,
right.
yeah.
Who was his other loss to? That I'm suddenly forgetting. Yeah, he
Uh,
beat Savan week 1, and it looked like he was just gonna be off, looking to go 16-0. He lost to Jimmy in a real close game. So it
oh
looks
yeah,
like he
yeah,
burned out
week
all his
2.
momentum this first 2 weeks. 2 really tough opponents. Probably, if some might say, the 2 best opponents in the league.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played very well since then. It'll be interesting to see how he can rebound here. I do think he's going to rebound. I think that this is going to be one of those type of statement games for the Falcons. I think that he's going to come out and he's going to remind the league that he can still play. So I'm going to take Noop here by 2 scores.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like New Pair in this game. I think it's going to be closer than 2 scores. I think the Eagles are motivated to like you said, kind of show improve, like and build on it. Even though he lost last week, but build on that. Whatever he had going against the Rams that first game, I think he'll play Nuke tough. But I think Nuke will win by at least a touchdown.
I like it. And the next game of the week, we got the Cardinals at the Giants. Cards are 3-1. He's only lost to the Rams. Giants are 4-0. It's gonna be a really interesting game here. Pesos kind of quietly slipped to 4-0, so this will be his first like big game, one that's everybody's watching, I'm sure. Arizona, he famously told Dean to watch his mouth whenever he picks his games. And Dean picked C Money to beat him, and then Rob came out and beat the Raiders 37-3.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
he's got a lot of fire on the team right now. He runs the ball very, very well. Peso, of course, we know he can run with Saquon. It's going to be a real close game, bro. I think I'm going to take the Cardinals this one, though. I like them on the road, man.
I'm gonna go with the Giants in this game. It's because it seems like I've been watching a little bit of Peso's games, and he's been passing a lot. passing more than usual. And he can always rely on that run game with Saquon. So if he can keep his passing game up and kind of have that kind of balanced offense, I think he's going to pull the victory out over the Cardinals. I'm gonna go with another 7-point. I think it'll be a close game. I think he'll pull it out at the end.
I like it. Next, you got the Dolphins and Chiefs. Dolphins 2-0, 2-2. Chiefs are 1-2, coming off a bye. Um, I know he's looking to get back to 500. It's gonna be a really close game here. I think both these teams have good defenses, especially Miami runs the ball. I don't know all too much about Parker's defense. I mean his offense, excuse me. But he has played well in the games he's played, despite the 1-2 record. Um, and I think that he's gonna get it done this week at home in Arrowhead. I'm gonna take the Chiefs here. Very close game.
Oh wow. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here this game. I don't know too much about the Chiefs user, and the Dolphins are always in close games, no matter who they play. They always play everybody tough. So I think I like them by 14 over the Chiefs. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the Chiefs user, so and the Dolphins play everybody well. They never I never see them get blown out ever. So I like the Dolphins in this game by 14.
Next, we got another sleeper team that's quietly undefeated. The Redskins coming off a bye. They're 3-0, playing the 1-2 Colts. Um, the Redskins, just like Peso, their division rival, are just kind of quietly winning their games, not talking much. Picking them up and laying them down. As they say. Tough game here on the road. Him against the Colts. He's got a strong running game with his All-Pro running back they had from last year, the rookie. It's gonna be interesting. I'll let you go first on this one.
I'll go with the Redskins. This one, for some reason, I can't seem to figure out the NFC East. It seems like every year they have a different division winner. They have teams coming out firing, or they had teams coming out starting slow. Like either everybody in the division is like 8-8 or 9-7, or they're like 14-2, 12-4, and so I just can't figure this division out. Like you said, they beat up on each other. Um, but I like the Redskins in this game. I think the Colts are playing well as of late, but I like the Redskins to pull this one out. I'm not sure what the score is going to be, but I think the Redskins look to stay undefeated in
Yeah,
this one.
Andy's playing decently well this year. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to take the Skins here. Pretty close game. I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty sure that Dwayne's just holding a hat with the other three names in it and just pulling one out of it to see who's going to win the division.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, and the only thing that is true in this world is that death, taxes, and that the Cowboys are going 7-9. So
Exactly.
it's it's gonna be interesting to see who wins this division as we go down the stretch here. Really looking forward to it. Next we got the Panthers at the 49ers. Don't have a Niners user right now. Also looking to find one of those within the next day or so. Panthers got an upset win over Hurt last week, so he's kind of getting what he needs to do done. Um, this should be his fourth win, or maybe he'll play the CPU. I'm not exactly sure. But it should be his win. Next we have the oh shit, bro! My cat just clawed the shit out of me. The Texans versus the Jaguars. Texans are 1-2. Jags are 0-3. He's still relatively new to the league, so it'd be interesting to see how he handles this one. He lost an OT game to Dwayne 2 weeks ago, I believe, before his bye. Texans have a strong run game, good defense. He used to be the Vikings user in my division, actually. So for that reason
Oh
alone, if
yeah,
anything,
right. I remember now.
I'm gonna take the Texans. Sosa's gonna get it done this week by 7 to 10 points.
Yeah, I like the Texans also this week. Jags is pretty new, like you said. Not too familiar with him. I watched a few minutes of a couple of games he played, but I really couldn't study the way he played. So, and like you said, the Texans user used to be the old Vikings user, and he's pretty decent. So I'm gonna go with the
Yeah.
Texans in this one. I'm not gonna pick a score again this one because I'm not just not too sure of how the Jaguars play. So
Next, we have the Cowboys and the Titans. Twan's won two in a row after his 2 game suspension. He's 2-2. Uh, Cowboys are 1-3, just coming off a 31-0 shutout loss to the Giants. So I know he wants to rebound, get a W here, get back on track in that very heavy NFC East. Um, I think that Twan's going to throw the ball, and he's going to throw the ball a lot. And if Dwayne doesn't have his coverage back there, he's going to get burned. He would have to play, I think, a perfect game. I'm telling you, I think the Titans are the Super Bowl favorites this year, not the
I was just about to
Bengals.
say that too. You took the
Yeah,
words right out of my mouth,
I think
Jason.
yeah, I think they're the Super Bowl favorites this year. I know that Savon's probably on a warpath to get back to it and win it, but that roster is just up ridiculous up there in Tennessee. Um, I'm gonna take the Titans here by a big margin. I don't think it's because Dwayne's bad. I just think it's because the Titans team is so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Titans in this one too. I'm gonna go with the Titans in a 17-point win. I think he's also motivated from the suspension. And he wants to use he's going to use Jamar Chase like he did last game, and he's a good user with a good roster, and he's but like I said, nothing to take away from Dwayne. So I think it'll be a 17-point win. But I like the Titans system. Like I said, he's just on a roll right now. He won his last two games, I believe, and I can see him possibly going 14-2, 13-3 this year.
Yeah, because well, next game, we got the Rams who are 4-0 versus the 1-3 Broncos. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't look into that record at 1-3.
No,
He's
this is
at a
gonna be a
very
good
tough
game.
schedule. He lost to the Bills, he lost to the Patriots, and he lost to the Titans, I believe, is his other loss. So, three very good teams. He's definitely a good user. I think he needs to get back on track this week. Jimmy's been playing up and down despite that. So this is my upset pick of the week. I try to pick one real controversial one every week. And Jimmy got on me last week for picking the Eagles, but he almost pulled it off.
He had that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we all know how good Humble Beast is. I think he's going to come out. It's going to be a very close game, but I'm going to take the Broncos here at home, Mile High.
I can't pick against Jimmy, man. I think Jimmy, once he figures you out, man, once he finds a weakness in it, he's going to exploit it. It's going to be a close game. I like Jimmy.
Very
I'm
close
gonna
game.
go by three. By three, it's going to be close. But I think Jimmy knows how to pick his plays well. He knows when to run certain plays, and I like Jimmy by 3 points.
Um, this isn't a game of the week, although I'm really hoping that one of them streams this game. I'm sure Jimmy will, just to see how this goes down, see if I'm correct. Next, we got the Patriots and the Bills. This was the real game of the week, honestly. Both teams 4-0 heading into it. Last year, Pats owned the Bills, won both matchups against them. So I know that he's looking to continue that success. E-Fly, every year he says it's his division, and I've picked him to win it a few times, so he needs to come through this year. It's going to be a real tough game here. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those knockdown, drag-out fights.
It's going to be a great
Um,
game.
I'm telling you, I think that the Pats just have the Bills' number. I really think that every time they play, he seems to come out swinging. And for that reason, I'm going to take the Patriots here to win. Very, very close game in Orchard Park.
I think this is going to be a high-scoring game in the high 30s, low 40s.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that they're probably playing the best ball this year out of all the users so far, and even going with their schedule, they're probably playing the best football user wise. It's gonna be a close game. I think each side's gonna put up a lot of points, but I think Parker's just running on. He got his offense figured out like down pat, and he seems like he's very 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 confident right now. So I'll go with the Patriots 41-37.
All right, I like it. I think it'll also be a very relatively
Yeah,
high-scoring game. I actually really like your number as well. I'm going to go 42-38, so
got you.
very close.
Yeah.
Um, Next one we have the Vikings at the Bears. Both teams 2-2. Vikings never beaten the Bears before, but things change every year. I was told by a few different users in the league I'm cooked this year, and so we're gonna see what we can do about that heading into the bye week, the week after. It's gonna be a really tough game. Lots of running the football, lots of good defense. I think every single time me and Hurt play, usually nobody gets over 25 points at most. Most of the time nobody gets over 20. Um, so it's going to be one of them low-scoring games. I think it's going to be one type of thing that turnovers are going to make the difference. Tariq Cohen is out for the next 8 weeks, so that's a big drop back in
Oh
production. It's going to
wow.
be for the Bears. Do have Tony Pollard. He's putting up decent numbers this year, the same as Cohen actually. But it's going to be interesting to see how he takes over as the lead back and not in just a relief role.
Yeah.
I'll let you pick this game first.
I think you need this victory, and I think you have to have this win. Like you can't if you take this loss right here, then I think all motivation goes downhill for you. Like you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna play my games to be the commission. Like I don't think you have no motivation to make the playoffs.
I got a
Pending your
real tough
schedule.
schedule. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
Falcons and Pats and Jets and Rams and just everybody else on it.
So confidence wise, you have to have this game. That's why I'm picking you. This is a must. It's almost like a must win game for you as far as confidence goes. Um, and I think you're going to come out and you're going to play like I like you big in this game by like 10 to 14. That's not real big, but like 10 to 14 points. I think you're going to come out like laser focused. Nothing against Hurt, but you need this. You need this game, Jason.
You took the words out of my mouth. I'm telling you, the Bears are coming to play this game. You mark my words, this is going to be a 3-touchdown victory for Chicago. 3 scores. Not because Hurt's a bad user, but because we have come to play in Chicago today.
Yeah.
The next one's a actually, really interesting game. Despite the records, both teams 1-3. It's got Bunny and we got CJ. Both these teams need to get back on track with the victory here. We got Bunny's iconic defense he runs versus
Just got Myles Garrett.
Yeah, he just got Myles Garrett versus Seattle's prolific offense. So it really could be really interesting game. CJ likes to run a lot of 5 wide, which is not what you want to run against Bunny because Bunny's going to blitz those corners. And I'm telling you, man, if you don't get the ball out fast, it's going to be Sack City. Man, I think this has potential to be a really close game. I think if CJ doesn't make mistakes, he should handle business here. He's got the X Factor QB. I'm going to take Seattle here I'm going to say 7 to 10 points. Somewhere in the 30s to somewhere in the 20s is my guess. Not exactly sure. What about you?
I'm gonna take CJ big actually by at least 3 touchdowns because Bunny's not familiar with the Lions offense and he's not gonna be able to score. I don't think. He might get a few turnovers on the defensive end, but I think CJ's just gonna light him up, man. And I don't think Bunny can keep up with him offensively. Just because he's not familiar with how the Lions players or the Lions roster. So I like the Seahawks big in this one. I'm gonna go to a score of like 31 to 10 actually.
A lot of shit talk in the chat come from Bunny. He says, "quote I'm gonna beat the dog shit out of the Seahawks." When you want your beating, oh man, bold
Bunny
words.
You got to score to beat Seahawks.
Yeah, bold words. I'm telling you, you are not. If you think you're gonna put up 21 points and win against CJ, you have lost your mind.
Yeah.
You're gonna need somewhere in the 30 to 40 range every time to beat him usually. Because I'm telling you, that offense comes to play.
Yes. He's gonna pass. He's gonna pass.
He's got the receivers to do it too, man. He's got speed everywhere. If Tyreek Hill is your 3rd best receiver on your team, that tells you something.
Exactly.
One last thing I do want to look at, just because we don't always do this, but it could be really interesting. Early in the season statistics.
Okay.
Jacob Eason leads the way in passing yards, just slightly over Tyree Jackson, his new home in Green Bay. Looks like touchdown leader is Jamie Newman for the Bengals, and the most picks thrown in the league so far, Jordan Love of the Eagles. Now, I said he'd fixed his turnover issues. Looks like he's kind of gone back to them. Not a good completion percentage either, 46%. So that probably is why the Eagles are 2-2 and shows their struggles right there.
I think they've been playing really good defense though. I've seen their defense has really been playing really well this year.
Yep. Top running game is Will Shipley of the Bengals. He's averaging 15 yards a fucking carry, so I don't know what kind of crack they're putting in the water up there in Cincinnati. But
really?
That's fucking ridiculous. For 786 yards, 7 touchdowns. Followed by Trey Sanders, the Vikings. What'd you say?
Look at his average per game, 196.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Well, if you go to my guy's 172 yards per game. He's hurt,
isn't he? Yeah, so he's not gonna be. Yeah, Cohen's down there in 7th, and he's not going anywhere either. So,
yeah,
right.
196 a game. Wow.
Yeah, receiving, Anthony Schwartz averaging 29 a catch, 9 touchdowns, 589 yards. That's got to be leading in every category. Yeah, that is the most touchdowns. That is the most yards. So definitely the Patriots know what they're doing. They're feeding their speedster Anthony Schwartz, averaging 147 a game. Longest reception of the year to this point by C.D. Lamb of the Eagles. Blocking, blocking. We got 4 offensive linemen haven't given up a sack all year. Adrian Medley of the Browns, Tyrone Smith of the Giants, Foster Sorrell of the Redskins, and Quentin Nelson of the Colts. The worst offensive lineman so far to this point, Max Ray, 5th-year left tackle out of Ohio State for the Raiders, is playing pretty bad. Trent Brown and Paris Johnson not playing very well either. On the defensive side of the ball, Troy Dye, the middle linebacker for the Lions, leads the way. He's got 33 tackles, so good job to him. Followed by Owen Popo and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Tackles for loss, Deion Jones, outside linebacker for the Falcons, leads the way at this point. QB
How
sacks.
old is he, man? He's old.
Yeah,
10 years
he's got to be
experience.
getting up there. 10 years in.
Yeah.
Yep. Sacks. Caleb Von Chasen continues to do what he does. He's got 8 sacks. Ja'Kai Polite having a good bounce back year actually for the Chiefs with 7.5. Wow, another Patriot right behind him, Zacoby McClain with 7. That was his big free agency pickup. And then 2 Chargers back to back, and Nwosu and Bosa.
Yep.
Interceptions. Middle linebacker for the Eagles. You're just talking about the Eagles defense. 6 picks.
Yeah.
That'll do it right there. Followed by Jordan Morant. It's a pretty young safety. Yeah, second year for you out of Michigan. 5 picks. He looks like he's doing it. Negative 58 interception yards. It's got to be a glitch. I don't believe that. it's got to be some kind of glitch or something going on there.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember running backwards anytime I caught an interception, unless he did last game during the first.
Forced fumbles. Keanu Neal of the Bears, their big free agency pickup, has 5 already on the season. Owen Popo of the Patriots is second with 3, and nobody else has more than 2. So those 2 safeties really laying the wood down on people. Fumble recovery is nothing really too interesting there. Safeties. Wow, George Karlaftis already has 2 safeties on the year, which is just crazy.
Wow.
The Vikings have another safety by their other left end, A.J. Johnson. So 6 total safeties, and the Vikings have 3 of them. Defensive touchdowns. Gardner Johnson and Quavarius Crouch both have 2.
2, yeah.
That's pretty much it. I do want to see if there's been any kick or punt returns. Those are a little interesting. They don't happen all that often. Looks like we had 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns this year by a few different people. No punt returns. We only have like 1 or 2 punt return touchdowns a year. They're
usually from you too,
rare.
right?
What was that?
Usually from you, like Cohen.
Yeah, usually Cohen. Yeah, I had 4. There was only 4 all last year, and Cohen had 2 of them. And the year before, he had 2, and there was only like 5 total.
Exactly. Yeah.
But with him hurt, and getting up there in age, we'll see how that goes this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, a little bit long prediction video, adding in the stats and things like that. Definitely glad to have you here, Leslie. Absolutely, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
Good to hear you. Everybody, make sure you get your games in, and make sure you have a good day.